The Oppo R17 Pro, the first R series phone to launch in India. The R series from Oppo have traditionally been more premium offerings, once corresponding OnePlus phones have been loosely based off. So what does Oppo actually bring to the table with the R17 Pro? Well, let's unbox it first and take a close look. Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech and let's get started. If you do end up liking this video, please don't forget to turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon. And as always, we've got a few giveaways going on. Here's a card to them in case you've not checked them out yet. Here's the box the R17 Pro comes in. Let's take a SIM tool to the plastic covering. Removing it, let's now peel that sticker off and pull the box out. First, we have the R17 Pro itself. The plastic cover calls attention to the in-display fingerprint scanner. Removing it, taking the phone out. The sticker from the back, let's remove that too. Damn, this back looks really nice, doesn't it? It's glass with a frosted gradient finish to it. Brands these days seem to be pushing the envelope on the gradient front and I'm really liking it. This just looks insane. Anyway, moving on, we have another box. This one contains a SIM ejector tool, the regular leaflets. Then there's the soft case, which is always a welcome sight, especially for phones with glass backs. Fits snug, should provide better grip. Also protect from a few minor dings and scratches. The regular thing I say every time I see a soft case. Oppo's also included a pair of Type-C earphones, which is good. They are kind of like Apple's EarPods. Talking about Apple, there is no converter. Now, yes, there's no headphone jack on this phone, but generally on the Android side of things, at least we see brands throwing in a headphone jack to Type-C converter. That's not included. That's a little sad. Moving on, we have a Type-C cable for charging and data transfer and the 50-watt SuperVOOC flash charger, the fastest charger on the market today. It happens to be one of the highlights of the R17 Pro. Oppo claims you can go from 0 to 40% in just 10 minutes. That's 4% a minute. Now, given that this is a fairly large 3700 mAh battery, it's very, very impressive. So how does Oppo manage to do this? They actually use not one but two batteries here, and both of them are charged parallelly at the same time. So it's two 1850 mAh batteries to be precise, and as they get charged at the same time, it's double the charging capacity, which is how they're able to achieve these kind of insane speeds. The next unique aspect of the R17 Pro is that in-display fingerprint scanner. Just like the others we've seen on phones like the OnePlus 6T, it's quite good, not as fast as regular scanners, but fast enough that you won't be annoyed by it. Well, on the topic of security, there's face unlock as well. This works via the selfie camera. So it's not a hardware implementation, but more of software via the selfie cam. Talking about software, this phone's running on ColorOS 5.2 built on top of Android 8.1 Oreo. We've seen a lot about ColorOS. We've unboxed quite a few Oppo or Realme phones recently, so I'm not really gonna delve into it. It's quite far from stock Android. There's no app drawer, features like Smart Bar, the option to play video with the screen off, that is just to listen to the audio of a video file, etc. are present and accounted for. The user experience, the performance here felt quite good too. Initial impressions at least. It's not just the software that's responsible for the performance, right? It's also the hardware. Talking about which, the chip inside the R17 Pro is the brand new Snapdragon 710. We've seen it on the Mi 8 SE in the past, and it's supposed to be a great performer. One of the very few non-flagship chips to be built on the 10nm process. It's supposed to bring with it more power along with better power efficiency, which, if my time with the Mi 8 SE is anything to go by, the Snapdragon 710 does. So I'm quite intrigued to see how it holds up here. By the way, the 710 is paired with a whopping 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of onboard storage, which is super important since there is no room for memory expansion here, no microSD support. What there is support for is dual SIMs via that slot at the bottom. Also right there you find the speaker, which happens to be quite loud. The audio output feels full and rich. And since we seem to have gotten started, let me walk you through the other placements. Power button to the right, secondary mic up top. I really like how Oppo's gone with the gradient color for the metal sides. And to the left we find the volume keys. To the front, there's a 6.4-inch AMOLED panel with a Full HD Plus resolution. It's AMOLED because as of now, in-display fingerprint scanners only work with AMOLED displays. Now, this display is covered by Gorilla Glass 6. Note that to the top, there is a tiny water drop notch. Above that, you find a slit. That's the earpiece. And the notch itself houses a 25-megapixel f2 selfie camera that in the little time we spent with appeared real promising. Here are a couple of more samples that we shot with it. The back looks absolutely stunning. This is the Radiant Mist version. There's also an emerald green if I can recall correctly. This kind of misty frosted finish also means that despite this being glass, this back is quite fingerprint resistant. Now this back is not just about style or the looks. The cameras you see here, they happen to be another highlight of the R17 Pro. The primary camera is a 12-megapixel sensor that has a variable aperture, just like we've been seeing on Samsung flagships. It's a 12-megapixel sensor with either f2.4 or 1.5 aperture. The secondary is a 20-megapixel sensor that kind of is like the one on the OnePlus 6 and 6T, should help with better low light. The third one, now this is interesting, it's a TOF sensor. This should help with 3D mapping and calculating distance and so on, kind of similar to what brands use up front for Face Unlock, the hardware that's used for Face Unlock, like on phones like the iPhone 10 and so on. So why is it here to the back? As of now, no reason. Oppo doesn't seem to have anything to take advantage of it, but they should pretty soon. We should know more about it and I'll probably talk about it in depth in the full review. Now, all that said, the pictures coming out of the R17 Pro's cameras were absolutely fantastic. We shot so much of a Chennai meetup with this, and as you guys can see, the pictures, they've turned out really well, haven't they? Good amount of detail, excellent dynamic range. Even as night fell and the lighting got worse, the R17 Pro still did quite a good job. I was really impressed. Now, while most things we've seen about the R17 Pro have been great, all this comes at a cost. And that cost, I mean, it's literally cost. The R17 Pro sells in China for 42.99 yuan. That converts to about 44,000 Indian rupees or 625 US dollars. The box here says 50,000 rupees. So I'm expecting the R17 Pro to be priced about 47,000 rupees. At this price, do you think it's worth it? Super VOOC, 8128, variable aperture, that frosted glass back, the in-display fingerprint scanner. There's a lot of things that Oppo is providing here. But do all these goodies make it worth it to you? Or do you feel it's still way too much for a phone without a Snapdragon 845? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Anyway, I do find this really interesting. There's a lot of new things that Oppo has offered, so I'm gonna continue testing it out and we'll have more to say about this topic in my full review that should drop pretty soon. If there's anything in particular you want to know, let me know in the comments below and I will try to address it in that review. And now, with that, we get to the end of this unboxing video. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on what you felt about it. Subscribe and turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon if you haven't yet. And I guess that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4 Retech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.